Good morning. I wanted to film this last segment on called out of sinfulness into righteousness outside on this beautiful morning with sunrise in the background. And rather than doing it right, I've been trying to use my truck as a rest for my camera, and it's got a layer of frost on it, and I got to thinking how that is so much like sin to us. That sin just makes everything such a slippery slope for us, but we are to be called out of sin into righteousness. So as I start this morning, what a beautiful morning, but I wanted to go over that lesson, and I had today had looked into 3 articles on that. The first article I had looked at was called Falling Out of Sin and Into Righteousness, and it talks about Romans 6:11 and how we are to be dead to sin but alive in righteousness, and that we are to die to those sins and to leave them behind because of what Christ did for us on the cross. And that is what we are called out of sinfulness into righteousness. I also looked at another article that was called Flee Sin and Pursue Righteousness. But How was the title of that. And that focuses on 2 Timothy 2:22, where we are to flee sin. It's also the same word we find when Joseph was called to flee to Egypt for baby Jesus' life. And we are supposed to not just ignore sin, but to flee from it, get away from it. But that also calls us into righteousness, to pursue righteousness, to pursue love, to pursue the good things that God has for us. And the question is, but how? And I know Pastor Tim's opened my eyes to 2 Corinthians 5:21, where it talks about Jesus taking my sin, trading my sin, and giving us his righteousness for those who accept that and believe in him. I am so thankful for that word from the Holy Spirit and that revelation. And I had also looked at an article. We were to look at one that we disagree with, or at least have a different thought on, and I went secular on that and found one entitled 9 Ways to Start Living for Yourself and Stop Living for Others. How opposite is that from the Christian message? We are to leave self, die to sin, and live for God. One of the greatest revelations that God has given me, I feel like, is that it's not about me. Even though you can't watch TV or see an ad or spend much time in the world without them saying, you deserve it, get it. It's all about you. God has taught me, and I am so thankful for that revelation, that it's not about me, that it's all about him. As we come to this time of Easter, coming up soon to Holy Week, and just the celebration, I know people sometimes mistake this season of the crucifixion as a tragedy, but it was a triumph, because God said, it is finished. Jesus said, it is finished. God, I have accomplished the task. It is done. It is done now and forever for those who believe and will accept that. Have a great day. Thanks a lot, and bye.